What's up, everybody? Carrot Juice Podcast here for another episode of the podcast. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm recording this podcast right now. It is September 20th and it's about 7:35. And you saw, if you're watching on YouTube, you saw the title of this, you saw the thumbnail. And before we get right into that, what I'm just going to ask you to do is like the video. We got a heavy topic today. Like the video if you haven't done so already. I'm not going to even ask you to subscribe. You can subscribe if you enjoy the content. So you guys saw the title. About what happened to Gabby Petito. What happened to Gabby Petito? The whole episode is going to be dedicated to what's going on with this situation because this is a developing story. So I'll just give a little disclaimer. I am not a journalist, okay? I am not a traditional news outlet either. What I'm doing is I'm just going to go over and I'm going to provide sources to everything that I'm talking about. And then I'm going to give my thoughts on what's going on in this situation. A little background about me. I am a probation officer. I've been working as a probation officer for the past 5 years at a government agency. And I have some familiarity with investigations, with the law. So that's how I can give some of my thoughts on this. By all means, whatever I say, you got to take it with a grain of salt because I am not active in this investigation, but I can speak about it and I will speak about it to the best of my ability. However, without further ado, let's get right into the content here about what's going on in this situation. So the first thing we want to answer is, who is Gabby Petito? All right. And hopefully I'm pronouncing her name the proper way. So this is a picture of the young lady here. She is 22. Well, she was 22 at the time of this photo, was on a cross-country trip. And let's see here. 22 was on a cross-country trip in a converted camper van with her fiance when she disappeared. So on September 11th, the family of Gabby Petito reported her missing to the Northport, Florida Police Department. She seemed to have disappeared in the western United States during a cross-country trip with her fiance, Brian Laundrie, or Landry, one of the two, who returned to his home in Northport without Miss Petito, who's 22, on September 1st. So he went on this trip with her, and he returned without her. Just that alone kind of raised some people's eyebrows because they were like, huh? You were on a trip with her and you returned without her and you don't let anybody know. All right, so let's continue going on with this here. So on Sunday, human remains consistent with Miss Petito's body were found in Bridger Teton National Forest on the east boundary of Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming, according to FBI officials. Before taking this trip, Miss Petito had been working as a pharmacy technician to save money for the trip. She met Mr. Laundrie, who was 23, at Bayport Blue Point High School on Long Island, according to her stepfather, Jim Schmidt. She is the eldest of 6 siblings. It's really sad. So the couple left New York on July 2nd for what was supposed to be a 4-month-long trip in a converted camper van and documented much of the trip with bright, carefree posts on social media. Near the top of Miss Petito's Instagram feed are the words "traveling the world in our tiny van" and "art, yoga, and veggies." Goes on to talk about the Instagram post that she's recently posted, and we'll check out her Instagram here briefly. It says, in an Instagram post accompanying a photo taken in the Arches National Park in Utah, Miss Petito wrote of her afternoon at one of the park's notable rock formations. She and Mr. Laundrie drawing and enjoying the nature without seeing anybody who was online or taking photos. It felt like we had the entire delicate arch to ourselves. All right. So that is the first article. And then that is the first point of discussion here. And we are trying to just give you a little bit of background on this young lady and who she was. So I wanted to start off with who she is. Let's check out her Instagram, okay, before I give my thoughts on this situation here. So this is her Instagram. She's very popular. I didn't know anything about her before this incident, but she has 868,000 followers. I don't know if she gained a lot of those after this developing story, but I believe she had a good amount of influence before this tragic situation. So if you look at her Instagram here, it looks like she's doing blogging, travel, lifestyle vlogging. And let's go here and see some of these photos. So it looks like, okay, so this is the boyfriend here. This is, what is it, Brian Laundrie? This is him here, okay? And that was on February 14th. So they've been together for a while. And they had been going on various trips throughout the West, okay? That was on July 4th. So that was 2 days there after they commenced their trip. More pictures here. She says, on mountain time, the past 2 nights camping in Zion. So she was in Zion National Park. Pretty cool photos that they were taking while on this trip. Pretty cool photos. All right. So, kind of get a gist of it. And this was her last post. This is significant. This is her last post that was posted on August 25th. And it was taken, I don't think it's showing where it was taken now. We might get that context later. But by all means, she appeared to be looking very happy in all of these photos, which I'll kind of give my thoughts on right here. All right, let me close this screen now. So the part of this situation which is pretty strange to me is how in today's day and age, people can be seemingly from the outside, seeming like they're having a good time, enjoying their life, you know, vlogging and all that. And she had been posting her travels and everything that she had been doing in her life for the most part to all of these people. And on the outside, it seemed like they were having a great time, a great trip. So I think that's the main reason why people are drawn to this case, because something like this happened on social media in plain sight to somebody who had a huge following. And I'm not trying to make this not give this situation the seriousness that it deserves, but I think that's what's drawn people to this story, is that it's happened in plain sight. And there were so many things that happened along the way that has me scratching my head, like, how did no one realize that something fishy was going on sooner, especially with the first part that I talked about with Brian Laundrie showing up without Gabby 3 weeks ago at home. You know, it's September 20th right now. He showed up, September 1st with no Gabby. So that's what I'm thinking right now as far as the situation. But let's continue on with this story, okay? It's a lot of information I got to get through here. So the next step and the next thing that I wanted to talk about in this episode is we first went over who she is. We've looked over her social media a bit, so you kind of got a glimpse of who she is. What is the timeline? What is the timeline? What do we know right now as far as the timeline of events of everything that happened? So we are going to go through this timeline and then we're going to try to piece it together from there. Okay. So this is the timeline. Let's see if we can get to this here. All right. Let me share my screen. All right. So, a timeline of Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie's road trip that ended in her disappearance. This is according to insider.com. Okay. So, according to this report, Gabby was reported missing by her mother on September 11 after she last spoke to her on FaceTime on August 24th. Authorities believe they found the body of van life blogger and Instagrammer Gabby Petito, 22-year-old, while on the trip. We know that information. Police said that they are looking at Laundrie as a person of interest now, but let's go back. Let's go back and see what happened. What's the timeline of this situation? All right. So we kind of went over that. So this is where we're going to start. Okay. So Petito and Laundrie started dating in 2019 and lived together in Florida. Okay. Petito and Laundrie moved to Northport, Florida 2 years ago, according to the Daily Mail. They had been dating since March 2019 and got engaged in July 2020, according to posts on both Petito's and Laundrie's Instagram accounts. She wrote, "Brian asked me to marry him, and I said yes." And his social media handle is Bizarre Design. You make life feel unreal, and every day is such a dream with you, she wrote. He wrote, "My biggest fear is that one day I'll wake up and it will all have been a dream, because that is what every second has felt like since the moment we found each other. Till death do us part, or until I wake up. I'm so happy the answer was yes. Love you, honey." That is a strange thing to write on the conception of a marriage when you guys are just getting into a relationship. Till death do us part. Like, I'm not trying to be funny here or anything, but that's a strange place to go. I mean, that's something that you talk about somebody that you're in a marriage with. So I'm guessing that this guy has some clingy tendencies. That's the only thing that I can read from that. I don't know about what you guys are reading from that, but that's what I'm reading. But let's continue on here with the timeline. So on Wednesday, Petito's mother, Nicole Schmidt, told the Daily Mail she believed that the couple had called off their engagement ahead of the trip because they were too young to marry. The couple embarked on a cross-country road trip in their 2012 Transit van on July 2nd. The couple departed Blue Point, New York, told Schmidt, and Petito and Laundrie had been in Blue Point, Petito's hometown, for Petito's brother's graduation ceremony on June 17th, according to the Daily Mail. She wanted to cross the country in the camper and live the van life and live free. This was her dream, according to the mother. Okay. The trip was expected to conclude in October in Oregon. All right. So we're going to go through this timeline here and see what's going on as far as with these photos. So bear with me here. So Petito's first Instagram photo documenting the trip was posted from Kansas on July 4th. The picture showed Petito posing between a rock formation at Monument Rocks natural landmark in Gove County, Kansas. It's what we showed you before. Some very pretty photos here. I'll just kind of blow it up so you can see it. Pretty photos here. All right. All right. See that? Cool. All right. All right. I'm just going to reposition myself. Okay, cool. Let's continue on. All right. So she also posted her first Instagram photos from the trip that day, showing their van. So that's the van there. That's Mr. Laundrie on top of the van, and that's them together. All right. So that's kind of tying some of them together here during this situation. All right, let's continue on. So on July 8, 10, and 11, Petito posted photos from Colorado. Petito next posted to Instagram on July 8 in Colorado Springs, Colorado. 2 days later, she updated her followers, posting a photo in southern Colorado's Great Sand Dunes National Park and Preserve. So she had been documenting where she had been going this entire time. No harm, no foul. I don't see anything wrong here. I don't see anything out of the ordinary for somebody that's a travel vlogger. Okay? Takes really good photos, by the way. All right, so it goes on to say, on July 16 and 18, Petito posted her and Laundrie camping at Zion National Park in Utah. She says, we hiked up here in about 100 degrees weather, and it was so nice coming back to our campsite, watching the sky fill with dark clouds, and view the lightning storm in the nice cool air of the light rain, she wrote. On July 18, she posted more photos from the campsite, as you can see here, in Zion. All right. And there's Gabby again. More photos from Zion National Park. That includes Gabby in a valley, along with Mr. Laundrie. All right, more photos. All right, we're moving along the timeline here. Bear with me. So we're on July 22nd. She posted at another park in Utah, Bryce Canyon National Park. More photos, them together. All right. So they're moving further west to eventually get to their planned designation, which is supposed to be ending the trip in Oregon in October. Nothing out of the ordinary there. All right. Let's continue on. So on July 26, Petito posted a series of photos from Mystic Hot Springs in Monroe, Utah. In one of the photos, Petito showed her and Laundrie kissing in the hot spring. There's the hot spring. That's pretty cool. They like put a tub into that side of that face of that. That's pretty cool. All right, we're moving along, okay? End of July here. She posted another photo in Canyonlands before a 12-day absence from Instagram, so this is significant. So this is the photo she posted at that point, at the arches. All right, so we have more photos here. Still looks happy. All right. And then this is where it gets very significant, guys. This is where it gets very significant. So on August 12th, Petito and Laundrie got into a physical fight in Utah, according to a police report. officers from the Moab Police Department said they responded to a potential domestic violence incident between Petito and Laundrie on August 12 after a man identified as Christopher contacted the police. The responding officer, Daniel Robbins, followed the van and eventually moved to pull it over, noting that the van was traveling 45 miles per hour in a 15 mile per hour zone, according to the police report. Then the officer observed the van cross a double yellow line, switch lanes, and swerve to the right, colliding with the curb. When Robbins approached the van, he found Petito crying in his passenger seat. He wrote in the report that she cried and breathed heavily. During their conversation, she told the officers she had been arguing with Laundrie and that she was struggling with her mental health. Laundrie also told the officer of an emotional strain and ongoing arguments between her and Petito. According to the police report, Laundrie said Petito struck him when she thought he was going to drive away in their van following an argument. The officer wrote, "After evaluating the totality of the circumstances, I do not believe the situation escalated to the level of domestic assault, as much of that as a mental health crisis." They also showed the police report here. I'm going to pin this information into the description here. I'm not going to go over the entire police report. There's a lot of information there. You can peruse that at your own leisure. Robbins also went on to note that Petito appeared to be in a confused and emotional state. He wrote he recommended that Laundrie and Petito remain separated for the night to relax and spend time apart. While they both expressed they didn't want to separate, Robbins wrote Petito kept the van while Laundrie checked into a hotel for the evening. According to the police report, another officer, Eric Pratt, noted that Laundrie and Petito reported they are in love and engaged to be married and desperately didn't wish to see anyone charged with a crime. Pratt said both Petito and Laundrie told him that Petito suffered from serious anxiety. So now the picture is starting to get a little more clear here. Body cam footage from that day showed Petito distraught and crying, talking to officers. Petito was recorded apologizing to Laundrie for being so mean in an earlier fight. She also describes hitting Laundrie, which she says she did to get his attention that they were being followed by a police officer. Laundrie, who had also been posting photos of the road trip on Instagram, ceased posting to Instagram one day later on August 13th. Okay? So the timeline is chugging along, okay? We're still moving along, all right? Could you just take a little breath notice? Okay, so there was a dispute on August 12th where a police report was filed. There's also a YouTube video of this. I'm not going to play that right now for the sake of audio. I'm going to link that YouTube video in the description, but it actually shows the body cam footage of that incident of what happened between Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, and you could do with that what you will. It actually shows this entire conversation. I just read it, but I might do another video reacting to that with additional follow-up and bonus content. So bear with me. So we had the argument, the police report filed on August 12th when they were pulled over. Mr. Laundrie was silent after that day, didn't post anything. And now we are moving on with the timeline, and we are at the couple launching a YouTube channel called Nomadik Statik on August 19th. The channel was created in November 2013, but contains just one video, which was uploaded on August 19th. It is registered with an email address belonging to Gabby Petito. And here's the video. I am not going to play that video right now, but you can access it. The name of the channel is Nomadik Statik. Okay? So let's keep moving on. So the video also shows several clips of Petito talking to the camera about the trip, including one clip where she talks about heavy rain she experienced. In another clip, Petito puts together a container of yogurt, granola, chocolate, and blueberries with Laundrie in the background. In that clip, Petito is wearing the same blue tank top and black shorts as she is in her July 30 and 31 photos from Canyonlands. The video also features a clip of the couple appearing on screen together with Laundrie talking about setting up his hammock on trees in the park. Also on August 19th, Petito Instagram photos showing the interior and exterior of the couple's Ford van. In the post, says she saw a man leave behind plastic trash on a picnic table. Unlike her previous post, there was no location attached to the photo. So, one thing we do know is there is another man that she mentioned that was at least in their vicinity during this entire ordeal. That's important information if you're investigating, as far as I am concerned. Okay. So here we are seeing Gabby's father said he placed an Uber Eats order on August 21st. We're moving on with the timeline while they were in Salt Lake. He said there was a power outage. She said she didn't have Wi-Fi, so he ordered them some food. And that was Salt Lake City. That was the last time her stepfather spoke to her. Gabby's parents said the couple left Salt Lake City on August 24th, as far as they know. And they were headed for Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming 3 days later on August 24th, where they believe they spent about 2 days. Gabby's mother said she last spoke to Petito when she received a FaceTime call from her on August 24th as she and Laundrie departed Salt Lake City. So she was alive and she spoke to her mother via FaceTime on August 24th. The mother said prior to Gabby's disappearance, she would FaceTime her about 3 times a week while on the trip. And then this is the final Instagram post, as we had mentioned before, right here. All she puts in the quote with the caption is "Happy Halloween." Okay. That's where we're at with that. Her family received text from Petito's phone until August 30th. Schmidt says that Petito last texted her about losing cell service in Yosemite on August 30th, but says she didn't believe the message was from her daughter. Why does she believe it's not from her daughter? I don't know. Maybe it was the way the person had sent the message. But something like that, a mother usually would know. Petito says she was headed towards Yellowstone at that time in that message. And the mother says she seemed okay to me at the time, other than I don't know where the relationship was going with the boyfriend. And then this is where we're at in the timeline now. In the timeline now, we are at her mother reported her missing on September 11th. The Suffolk County Police Department said in a statement on Monday they were investigating Petito's disappearance after Schmidt reported her missing at 6:55 p.m. on Saturday. They started the trip on July 2. Remember that, guys. They went to all of these various national parks on their way west, heading to Oregon. A significant point in time that you have to remember, August 12th, they had the incident with the police officer where they were pulled over, and there's dash cam footage of what happened in that incident. It said that Gabby Petito was distraught. She was crying. She also seemed to be having some type of mental episode. That's what we know, okay? They continued on with their trip. The mother spoke with her last on August 24th via FaceTime, where she knows for a fact that she was still alive at that point. And now we are fast forwarding. She got a text from her on August 30th, but she's not sure if that was from her. And she reported her missing on September 11th. The Suffolk County Police Department said in a statement on Monday they were investigating her disappearance, and she was reported missing at 6:55 p.m. on Saturday. Police said the van that the couple was traveling in, the 2012 Ford Transit van with Florida license plates, had been recovered. And then this is where it gets very interesting, guys. Pay attention. Laundrie had not spoken with authorities and had declined to speak with the media directly, offering comment instead through a lawyer. Okay, so he came back and he decided to not speak with authorities without a lawyer. I mean, I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night. That is clear signs that something mischievous is going on. If you have nothing to hide, you have no reason to speak to the authorities with a lawyer, especially if you were the last person to see her. So that is definitely would make you suspicious if I was looking into this incident. Okay. The article goes on to say, we showed up, we see the vehicle, we take the vehicle. North Point, Florida police spokesperson Josh Taylor told Insider on Tuesday. Said they made an attempt to talk to Brian and his family declined to make him available. They gave them the information of his attorney. You had just been on a trip with this lady for 3 months. You don't want to talk to the authorities? You're not concerned about her whereabouts in the slightest? You don't want to help with the search? I find that strange. I find that very strange. This is the statement that was issued by his lawyers on September 14th. This is understandably an extremely difficult time for both the Petito family and the Laundrie family. Stephen Bortolino, the lawyer representing the Laundrie family, stated. It also said in the statement, it is our understanding that a search has been organized for Miss Petito in or near Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. On behalf of the Laundrie family, it is our hope that the search for Miss Petito is successful and that Miss Petito is reunited with her family. On the advice of counsel, the Laundrie family is remaining in the background at this juncture and will have no further comment. Wow. Lawyer up. Not participating in the helping of the search. I don't know what else you need to identify a person of interest besides that information. I don't know. Are we in the trust tree, guys? What are you guys thinking about this situation? I think it's cut and dry here. He knows something. He has to know something about this situation. This is like a silver platter. Like it's up on the platter. Like this guy obviously has to know something about what's going on here. We'll also go further. The Petito family also released a statement on September 14th imploring Laundrie to help with the investigation. They said Brian is refusing to tell Gabby's family where he last saw her. Brian is also refusing to explain why he left Gabby all alone and drove her van to Florida. Petito's family said in a statement to Insider through their attorney, Richard Stafford. These are critical questions that require immediate answers. And then it talks about a GoFundMe that was created by a family friend to support the search for Petito had raised more than $27,000 as of Tuesday evening. So, moving forward, this is still going on with the timeline, guys. On September 15th, police named Laundrie as a person of interest in Petito's disappearance, and the families released more statements. Okay. The family lawyer said, Brian, your silence is reprehensible. We beg you to do the right thing and help us bring Gabby home. Brian, whatever happened in Wyoming happened. The only thing you control is what you do now. Tell us where Gabby is. You tarnish your love for her with your silence. And then in response to that, Laundrie's lawyer put out another statement, and they said, in my experience, intimate partners are often the first person law enforcement focuses their attention on in cases like this, and the warning that any statement made will be used against you is true. Regardless of whether my client had anything to do with Miss Petito's disappearance, the statement from Bartolino said, as such, on the advice of counsel, Mr. Laundrie is not speaking on this matter. And then now we're progressing on in the story. We're progressing on here. Okay. Here we go. So this is something that you couldn't have predicted in the slightest. This is something that you couldn't have predicted. Okay. So on September 17th, police said that Laundrie had reportedly also gone missing from his family home. All right. It says Laundrie family informed authorities that he's been missing since Tuesday, September 14th. They say we've been trying all week to talk to his family, to talk to Brian, and now they've called us here on Friday. We've gone to the home and they're saying they have not seen their son. This is CNN saying that. So we are working through those details as we speak. It is another twist in the story. So now the family is saying that they didn't see him when he is definitely the suspect in a missing persons case for anybody with common sense. I think that is quite telling, and that is quite the omission and quite the knowledge. Okay? We're still going through the timeline here, guys. They left on July 2nd. All right? They have been posting videos going out west towards Oregon every couple of days, posting on social media. They had a very, very significant thing that happened when they got stopped by the police officer on August 12th. All right. And a police report was filed, and there's dash cam footage of that incident. The mother, last time she saw her daughter was on August 24th via FaceTime before they departed and went to Yellowstone National Park, allegedly. All right. Petito comes home September 1st, no Gabby. The mother reports her missing on September 11th. Okay. And then we have here September 15th, Laundrie is named as a person of interest by the law enforcement. And now he's missing. He's person of interest on 15th. He's missing on the 17th. So that's the timeline, and that's where we are in this situation. And then the most recent important factor here in the timeline is this. Authorities said they found a body matching Petito's description on September 19th. The body was found at a campsite near Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. And during a news conference on Sunday night, FBI agent Charles Jones said human remains were discovered consistent with the description of Petito near the Spread Creek dispersed camping area. An autopsy to confirm the identity of the remains will be conducted Tuesday. The body was discovered not long after family travel vloggers Jen and Kyle Bethune uploaded a video to social media recorded from a GoPro camera mounted on their vehicle that appeared to show a van matching the description of the one Petito and Laundrie were traveling in. There's so much going on in this. And then you see it there. That's the van. This is from footage that was captured on August 27th around 6 p.m. where some people who weren't involved in the situation at all were vlogging or what have you, and then come later, they see that van on the side road. Okay? And this was in the area where her body was found. Okay? Allegedly. They haven't confirmed that it was her body, but it's a body that was matching her description. Okay? All right. They also say they have not confirmed whether the van in the video is Petito's. However, I mean, how many vans like that are in that area? I mean, I think it's safe to say. And here we are today. I'm recording this on September 20th. Brian Laundrie's parents' home was searched by authorities on September 20th. Police and the FBI swarmed the Northport, Florida home on Monday morning, removing Laundrie's parents from the residence and declaring the home a crime scene. It goes on to say that the FBI is executing a court-authorized search warrant today at the Laundrie residence in Northport, Florida, relevant to the Gabby Petito investigation. The FBI Tampa office put that tweet out on Monday. So it says, Lori's parents were removed from the home. Laundrie's parents was removed from the home and placed in a van outside the residence, according to the on-scene reporters. They were later returned to the house. Okay? And apparently this story has been updated multiple times, as this is an evolving story. Okay? So I know that is a lot of information that I just went over there, but that's what we know as of right now as far as that situation. We're not going to confirm and know for a fact if the body is in fact Gabby's until Tuesday. So that'll be tomorrow. Okay. So what do we think about this situation? What is our thoughts on this situation? Well, as far as I'm concerned, I think you would be silly. You would be very silly if you didn't think that Mr. Laundrie didn't know what happened to her, or didn't know what was going on in this situation. It's just too many things tying him to what happened in this situation. So the fact that he didn't want to speak, the fact that he lawyered up right away, and the fact that he is now missing is so telling in this situation, to say the least. This is a developing, evolving story. And what I wanted to tie this to more so than anything is, how could someone be on social media, have that large of a following, be posting almost every day, and still end up in a situation like this where the person that she went on a supposed 3-month, 4-month cross-country trip shows up without her, and nobody knows what happened to her. Nobody found that as being suspicious right off the rip. He comes back on September 1st without her, and a missing person report is not issued until September 11th. I just find that strange. Like something going on with this timeline is just not making any sense to me. And you guys could let me know in the comments and whatnot if you think that I'm off base here. But there's so many more even though I gave you guys all that information, there's still more answers that I have. There's still more questions that I have than answers after going over all that. Are they going to look into who was the strange man that was emptying plastic near their campsite that she mentioned? Why is Laundrie not willing to cooperate at all in the investigation? What was allegedly, if this ends up being her body, and condolences to her family, Rest in peace if that is the case. I don't want to say it because we don't know for a fact. However, like I keep saying, it's an evolving situation. But a question I would have is, what is her mental state, and does she have a history of severe mental illness? There's a possibility that something else could have happened out there that we don't know about due to her mental state. And I know that's kind of far-fetched, but we got to look at all of the information here. It's not looking good for Mr. Laundrie in the slightest. However, the law enforcement will do their due diligence and all of that for sure. I think he did it. I think he did it because there's just not enough adding up here. But we will wait and we will see when all the facts come out. I'm going to be releasing this podcast on Tuesday, so it'll come out tomorrow. I'll release an update video about what happens and what they have to say about her or this situation after the autopsy. But I wanted to get this out now because there's a lot of information, a lot of questions, and a lot of people are talking about this topic, and I find it interesting. I find this is like, I haven't really experienced a case like this or experienced a situation like this since I listened to the podcast Serial when that was popular, because people get ingrained and engulfed in the story, and this is literally a story that is taking place in real time on social media with people who are on Instagram, with people who are on YouTube. This is just like a modern day crime drama. And I don't want to make light of this, but it's just, it has all the factors to be something that I don't think we've quite experienced in this fashion, because usually if something like this happens, it happens to somebody who maybe is not that prevalent on social media or is a celebrity, but this person was literally vlogging and documenting everything, and something like this allegedly happening despite all that visibility. So yeah, this is an interesting situation. That's been another episode of Carrot Juice. I know this went a little bit longer than my usual episodes go, and it's a kind of a different style. I wanted it to be a little more laid back and casual. I just kind of wanted to go over what we know in this situation, and by all means, in the questions, in the comment section, make sure that you're asking me questions, that you're engaging in there, you're keeping it respectful, and I'll get to anybody that I can as far as talking about the situation. I want to know what you guys are thinking. And if you haven't done so already, make sure that you like the video. And if you enjoy this content and you enjoy what I'm doing on this channel, I do all kinds of content, not just like crime and if somebody's allegedly dead. But yeah, this has been another episode of Carrot Juice. Subscribe to the channel if you like the content. And I will speak to you guys next week. Stay safe out there. Peace.